yesterday. I've just been feeling really scared for some reason. And I was working on my self-portrait yesterday. You know, it went well. Nothing went terribly wrong except for my newspaper transfers weren't working the way I wanted them to, but you know, they still did what they were supposed to, so I'm not too worried. But I'm trying to find a balance between tuning in enough and not tuning in too much. But every time I go on YouTube to look at videos of masterwork, sometimes I'll see videos on, how to be creative, how to be creatively great, how to do this like this person. And while I do find a lot of the people really inspiring and I look up to them, it's kind of too much for me to bear because I do things so differently. And then I think, oh no, I don't do things right. And I should do things more like them. And I should just do things like me. I just want to do things like myself, but I can't not listen to the voices. Not inside my head, the voices I get. The voices of outer influence. 9:18, I'm gonna try and be in the studio by 10. I think it's because I pushed it a little yesterday. I was in the studio from 1 to 7. I didn't even get that much done, if I'm being honest. And yesterday was just a bad day. After being in the studio so long and concentrating on one thing, my brain was feeling really funky. Empty, but not in a peaceful way. A lot of things have been up in the air lately, and I'm somewhat of a control freak because I find power in being able to control my environment and everything else when I feel so small and out of control everywhere else. Uncertainty really gets to me. How do people with big ambitions do it? The uncertainty. I get that you have the somewhat unwavering belief in yourself. Mine is very wavering. And yet the small, tiniest of flames is kind of constantly burning. So I guess, well, my inner monologue is wavering, I'd say. In my heart, it's unwavering, unyielding. But still, how do you just, because I always think I'm a monster, and my friends always have to tell me, you're not a monster. You're quite fine, in fact. But that's kind of what my self-portrait is trying to do. I'm trying to portray how I just feel like this grotesque waste of space, and like there's something so wretched and monstrous about me that no one can really care about because they don't see it or live inside my head the way I do. They see some person that might still be me, but in my head that's not me. To them it's me, but to me it's not me. I used to write about this a lot. I just want to be allowed to spill everything that's terrible in me that I see in myself to a friend in a way that it's not self-seeking or self-serving, but it's just incredibly heroic and brave. But every time I try and think of ways to get it out and say the words, just knowing how they see me as different, it makes me willingly contradicting them, it makes it seem like I'm fishing for reassurance, but really I just want someone to say, okay, I understand you feel that way about yourself. Just for it to be a brave act instead of a seeking one, you know. But you journaled last night, even though you were feeling like shit. And wow, the scientists, turns out they're all into something, because journaling actually really helped me sort through some shit, at least before going to bed. Trying not to freak out. But sometimes I just want to kind of scream in the middle of the street and say, I don't fucking know what I'm doing, and I'm fucking scared. Can anyone tell me it's gonna be okay? And I wish, well, I guess this is why people have mentors or something, but not, that's also kind of a trap, because you don't want to get too stuck in someone else's path of how they did something. Maybe maybe the desire alone to want to be great is enough for today. And in fact, maybe it's enough for the next few days. That little inkling, that little germ of an idea. I'm trying not to underestimate its power. Desire is a big thing. Has simultaneously made my life and ruined my life. Because what do you mean a bad art day is somehow 1,000 times worse than just a regular bad day? Because you have a relationship with it now. Just because it means something to me now. It didn't really fully click until, I'd say, second semester, that I love this and this is what I want to do. And then this one painting assignment, it just sparked, and I guess that was that. Art became my life. And I'm already the type of person who finds it difficult to find balance. So I'm trying to not let art and my love for art run me into my grave, run me into the ground. But, you know, it's so potent like that. Sometimes I think, damn, yeah, how do people love other people if me loving art is this intense? Being in love with someone, that would be horrible, in my opinion. I think people who can decide that they want to be open to love and be loved, they're incredibly brave to me. And all I can do is just gawk at them, because in my mind I can't really fathom that. No matter how many scenarios I make up in my head about falling in love, none of them seem plausible. And so when I see people in real life that are just in love and they've decided to be brave like that and vulnerable like that, I don't know. I don't know if the intrigue is more of a evil scientist intrigue or just a genuine, oh, I'm impressed with you. Either way, I don't understand them, but I also am in awe of them. That's the other thing too. I have other things in my life that give me imposter syndrome. Yes, art is big to me, but so is oiling my hair twice a week because I have thinning patches on the side of my head. And so is going to the gym 4 times a week. Because otherwise I just go insane. But sometimes, honestly, I'm always the source of my own torture. I don't think I can be things simultaneously. I have it in my head that you can only be one thing. I don't know why. Honestly, we're such versatile creatures. It'd be impossible for us to just be one thing that I like that is more than one thing. It's like an identity crisis or something. I think, oh, this isn't my entire life, so I can't have an interest in it, and it can't be a hobby. It doesn't have to be your entire life for you to just want to try it, to like it. It was kind of me when I used to be into skateboarding. I think, I don't know everything about skateboards. I don't know everything about skateboarding. I'm a fraud. I can't do it. Well, I did end up giving it up just because I value my ankles. But what is it with that narrative inside me, at least? You know, you can be mediocrely. I think it's mediocrely. That does not sound well. You can have a mediocre level of interest in something and still pursue it, and it not be wrong for you to do so. Just in my head, it's wrong. I don't know why. Vitamins, am I right? That's a whole lot of dishwasher soap in there. In certain ways, because I was all mopey and miserable this morning, thinking, oh, you're never gonna be anything, or just stupid stuff like that. Maybe it's true, but heck, I'm alive. Because I live my life so internally, all my life is in my head. And then it gets so crowded and overwhelming. As soon as I can just open my mouth and articulate what I'm thinking and feeling, it's poof. There's a weight that's been lifted off my shoulders. And that's really journaling too. You're not a failure. You're not a loser for wanting to try. And you're not undeserving of wanting great things for yourself. I think I get caught up on that a lot. I think, well, I already have this life. Who am I to want more? I have so much. I have friends. I have a safe living situation. I have a roof over my head and food on the table. And I'm trying to tell myself, is it really as unreasonable as you tell yourself it is to want more for yourself, to have dreams? My closest friend, she said something that really stuck with me when we were having dinner one night. She said, you have a weird sense of what's selfish. And something clicked in my head, and I felt, well, I felt very seen and very valued by said friend, but I thought, oh, yeah, that's something I've been battling with too. I used to be a competitive athlete, so the gym really helps me just regulate myself and my energy or whatnot. But it gives me the type of metabolism that I feel costs too much money to uphold. I've been having a hard time feeding myself enough food, between just being at the studio a lot and being super tired. I'm too tired to feed myself in most instances, or too tired to do groceries. And I think I also underestimate the power of fatigue. When I am tired, when I am tired, just the world is such a darker place. I don't know how I can be so, it's just, when you're tired, it's easier to be pessimistic. It's easier to, everything you've been keeping at bay, when you have the energy, comes out when you're tired. I'm getting really dizzy, and I don't know if it's because I drank the first cup of water with so much dishwasher fluid in it. Well, residue. I'm trying to tell myself, if I'm gonna do it anyway, why not make it a little bit more pleasurable and not be negative the entire time. I mean, if I'm going to take this journey, well, easier said than done, but if I'm gonna take this journey, wouldn't it be easier on me if I could just be happy about it instead of be scared of everything and self-doubting and self-critiquing and all that jazz? Being happy about it is the harder thing, but it's the better thing. I'm scared. I care what people think about me. And so, while I shouldn't look down on my focus, I'm scared of people thinking I'm too serious. What is that? What is it? And while I'm really ambitious and I want to be great, people just thinking I'm silly. But maybe that's something that will work out with time, caring about what others think. I think that'll work itself out with time. Especially once I dive into my own personal stuff more, because right now in school, you're given assignments and you kind of have to run with the criteria for those assignments. Even a few days ago, after I posted my first video, I was thinking, they're gonna think that you're bragging or something, or blah, blah, blah. I was seeing myself through the worst parts of a comment section that I've seen in my lifetime. If that's not who I am, and if that's not my intention, then logistically, I shouldn't care. Not my problem. I have this weird thing with being able to say I'm good at something. There's just this accompanied shame and this feeling of deceit. Probably to do with my childhood, but yeah, I'll say it. I'm a good writer. And I want to write a few books in my lifetime. And I'm good. My teacher says, no, stop. I may as well not say it if I don't believe it. Yeah, I'll keep that one on the shelf until the day I believe it myself. When it comes to creativity, I don't think there are good ideas or bad ideas. I think there are kind of you just have ideas, and then you run with one, and you don't go with the other. It's kind of how I see it. Do I feel completely better? Yes. Do I need to stop talking so I can finish my breakfast? Yes. So goodbye. Wait. Today is March. Why am I checking the oven clock? I think it's March 13th. No, 13th, 14th. It's 14th, March 14th.